Hello and thanks for logging on to channel6newsonline.com. I'm Ryan Thompson. In less than 24 hours, the convention hall behind me will come to order when delegates from around the country convene to nominate President Barack Obama to represent Democrats in the election this November. From that point on, the party's superstars will take to the stage to energize their party's base. Here to discuss with me what the next 3 days will entail is Andew Kroll, staff reporter from Mother Jones Magazine. Thanks for joining us, Andrew.
It's great to be here.
So let's start with Tuesday. Michelle Obama speaking, and so is the chair of the convention. What can we expect from that day?
Well, Tuesday is the curtain raiser here. It's sort of the first night of speeches, getting the delegates here energized, getting them roused up. Michelle Obama is incredibly popular, both within her party, outside of her party. I mean, she's an obvious pick for the first night. She's beloved. Her programs about fighting obesity and exercise are incredibly popular. So she's going to get out there and get people fired up. And the convention chair is always speaking on the first night to welcome people and to sort of set the stage for what happens over the next 3 days here.
How will this year be, or how will this convention be different than from ’08?
Well, in '08, you had President Obama as a candidate who really had a small record in office. He had been in the Senate for less than 2 years, but he had built this incredible following and this incredible campaign. Hope and change were the mottos that we heard, and really it was a huge party. It was held in Denver. It was incredible outpouring, and really he gave one of the best speeches of his young career. Here it's a bit different. He has been in office. It has been a tough 3+ years for him. And the tenor is different, and the country's in a different place. And the mottos of hope and change that he ran on in 2008 aren't really going to work this time.
You spoke about how he developed an incredible campaign in 2008. What does he need to say Thursday night to really energize the electorate? Show him that he's still the same guy and that the Oval Office has not changed him.
Well, he can't use what he did before. The aspirational and lofty rhetoric that we heard in 2008, has been heard, and people don't, they're used to that. It's nothing new to them. He's got to walk a tightrope in many ways. He has to tell people that what he's doing is working, that it's taking time, and it may not be working as fast as we'd like, but he has the right plan to put us on track, and that the other guy does not. And he has to also appeal to that sliver of voters out there, independent voters, swing voters, call them what you will, who are going to really tip this election in states like Ohio, North Carolina, Virginia, and so on. So he really has to repitch himself, re-promote himself, not get people too excited about the old hope and change of 2008, but really sell what he's doing and sell people on the need for another 4 years of his presidency.
And judging by the vibe here in Charlotte, I know you and me have both been here for 2 days. Do you think that the delegates and convention goers have really lost the inspiration and energy they had in 2008?
Well, I think you have a hardcore base that loves the president, likes what he's done on healthcare, on same-sex marriage, on a number of different issues, because the president has accomplished a lot in his first term so far in office. Delegates are going to be fired up. That's the definition of a delegate. They're here, they're part of the party, they're on board. The question is, can he use this setting here, this big platform, all the networks are here, the media, we're all here. Can he use this setting to broadcast a message to the folks out there who aren't sold on him, who aren't as energized as the base is, as the folks are here? Can he use this as a platform to really make the case for a second term?
And, in 2008, young voters were a huge thing. This is my last question. Young voters were a huge thing. How do you think he can really, get young people to go out and vote again and go vote for hope and change like they did in 2008?
The unemployment rate among young people, 18 to 29, is through the roof. It's well over 10%. And I think jobs and the economy and career prospects for young people are really at the forefront for them. And I think what the president can do, or what he needs to do, is put out a plan, or at least articulate some specifics about what he'll do to get this economy really going again, to get it recovering, to create jobs, especially for young people who were so crucial for him in 2008. Governor Romney was criticized for his speech in Tampa for lacking specifics, and it was more about his background and quote-unquote humanizing him. If President Obama can put out specifics here about creating jobs for young people and creating jobs for everybody, that could go a long way toward winning over those same young people who loved him so much last time around.
All right, thank you so much, Andy.
Yeah,
really
my pleasure.
Appreciate being here. Hopefully we'll get to speak to you another time during the week. CarolinaFest took off today in Charlotte, and it was a bit of a damper. Rain fell through with a number of storms coming through during the event. Gretchen Bauermeister was at the event and visited it and has more.
Ryan, I'm in Uptown after thunder and heavy rain put a damper on Jeff Bridges' performance today at the CarolinaFest. No word yet on whether James Taylor will still perform today, but audiences remain in good spirits despite the weather.
Thanks, Gretchen. As in 2008, young delegates will play a crucial role in this year's convention. Earlier in the day, I spoke to Justin Chenette, the youngest delegate from the great state of Maine, about what it's like to be here at the 2012 Democratic National Convention. Justin, why do young people play such a critical role in this year's Democratic National Convention?
It's very simple. We are the future. We have to get young people involved in this process because for so long we felt shut out of that process. And I think you saw in the 2008 presidential election that for once we had a candidate that actually cared about what we thought and wanted to include us in the process. And so we are continuing that energy that we had in 2008 through this election because it is so critically important, because there's two very different visions of the direction of this country, and I think it's so critically important that we re-elect President Barack Obama to the role of the presidency because he actually cares about young issues. And so that kind of spans the spectrum, whether it be women's issues or making sure that we can stay on our parents' health care insurance to 26, creating jobs. These are the sorts of issues that we all care about, and it's young people that are going to be the future, but we have to do something about it right now. We can't wait 20 or 30 years and wait around to say, oh, it's too late to get involved. Now is the time.
What's the biggest issue facing young people today, do you think?
Well, I definitely think the issue of jobs is really critical. Any search online, you Google jobs in your state, it's very rough, especially for ages between 18 and 25. There's a 17% unemployment rate in some areas. That's absolutely horrendous. And so obviously the president has a role in that, and we need to ensure that we continue that momentum of trying to create jobs. We need to do more with that. And so I think that's going to be critical. I think paying for post-secondary education is also a needed piece. It's so expensive to go to college. To me, college is an investment in our futures. And if we're going to be productive members of society, we have to be able to either go to a training program, or we also have to do some sort of schooling that actually creates an opportunity for us to get a very high qualified job and compete in this global economy that we're living in. I mean, if we take a look at other industrialized countries, other powerful countries, I mean, they have great programs for their schooling. They make the investment in education. We're kind of being left in the cold, and you have Mitt Romney going around saying, well, you can shop around for your education. No, I'm sorry. That is an investment in this future, in our future, collectively as a country, because we are in this together. This is not about each individual. This is about how each individual can contribute to a society, and that is what we're all about here at the Democratic National Convention.
Well, how can each individual be better representative, especially young people, be better represented on the issues that are important to them?
We have to elect young people to office. I'm poised to become the youngest legislator in the state of Maine. I'm 21 years old. I mean, that's unheard of in a lot of areas, but more and more people that attend conventions like this sign up to be a volunteer for the president, sign up to, on a local level, maybe for city council, for mayor. Not only sign up to be a campaign volunteer, but also intern, providing a great resume building opportunity, and also pique the interest for your future, and also run for office. Don't listen to the naysayers that say that you can't. Say that you can. If you believe in yourself that you can make fundamental change at a local level, run for your local city council. I mean, that's the so important piece, that you can achieve anything you want to in this lifetime. You just have to go out there and get it. And for too long, young people have been kind of like sit down and shut up, and we have to actually say, no, we will have a voice, we will make change, and we will have a great life if we work together.
You mentioned how you're on tap to become the youngest legislator from the state of Maine.
Right.
How did you get involved in politics and all that stuff?
I was actually a political reporter for many years back home in the state of Maine, and it kind of morphed into not only holding leaders accountable for their actions and inactions, but in becoming a leader. It was a great transition from having a solid foundation in journalistic principles and that accountability, and now wanting to kind of bring that to the state capitol and holding kind of government officials accountable internally and creating the policies that are necessary to move forward with. I see an opportunity as a young person to create the kind of life for myself in other people. If I want jobs, okay, well, what can I do as a government official to do that? Okay, I want post-secondary education to be affordable. Why don't I just do that myself? Why do I have to listen to somebody 50, 60 years old tell me that I'm struggling? I know I'm struggling. Let me try to solve the issue because I'm the one who knows directly about it. And so it's inspiring to see other young people say, you know what, Justin, this is great that you're running it. It maybe piques my interest to run, and that to me is worth it. If one person is affected by my run for state legislature in the state of Maine or across the country, then I've done my job in trying to infuse this idea of passionate community service. That's what this is about. It's not about politics or power plays. This is about public service, and that is the centerpiece of this convention.
And lastly, Justin, it's Labor Day, the convention hasn't started yet, but what do you hope to hear in the convention proceedings over the next coming days?
I hope to hear speeches that really re-energize the base. So really re-energize that spirit that we had in 2008 of service above self. And really trying to lay out a blueprint of where we're going to move forward. There's going to be some significant challenges over the next 4 years, and President Barack Obama has done a lot up to this point, but he needs to do more. And I think I'd love to hear President Obama say, okay, specifically, what are you going to do to make that happen? How is your vision for the country different than Mitt Romney's? I think it's a clear distinction in this race. I think once people hear the specifics of Paul Ryan's plan, the vice presidential candidate on the Republican side, I think they're going to get a little nervous. I want to hear specifics because as a young person, this affects me right now. We can't wait any longer for change. Change has come in certain areas, but not in others. And I think maybe we give President Obama 4 more years to try to make that happen.
And we'll have much more coverage from Charlotte of everything DNC over the course of the next week. I invite you to visit our blog, dnc6.com, for all you need to know about this year's DNC. We'll have much more over the course of the next week, so keep it here to channel6newsonline.com. But for now, from the Convention Center at the Time Warner Cable Arena, I'm Ryan Thompson for Channel 6 News.